Hey y'all, this is Deb, and this is going to be a video response to Miss Lee's contest. She's asked us to share with her as to whether she should or should not have another child. Her best friend told her that she was too old and she needed to sit down somewhere, but she's really contemplating on whether she wants to do that. So this is what I have to say on the matter. First of all, you are only as old as you feel. Now, I do know that age is supposed to play a factor in having a child, but I really thought that that was, with having your first child. I know that there may be some risk involved and things like that, but I think if you discuss this with your OBGYN, there's so many things in place now that they can do, preventive measures and precautionary things that they can do that should make this pregnancy go as smoothly as it did with your oldest daughter. Number 2, children will bring you joy. I just cannot imagine having gotten to this point in my life without my sons. I mean, we've had so much fun. The birthday parties, how I've worn them out so they could sleep, so I could have some me time. I mean, it's just been a wonderful experience, and I can't imagine me without both of them. I mean, by now, if it was just my oldest son, I would be empty nesting and doing all of that thing. But my oldest son has a sibling, and that's something that I didn't have. Yes, I have 2 younger brothers, but we have different fathers. So when my father took sick and I had to take care of him and I had to go through all of that stuff when he passed away, I had no one there to share that with but myself. I mean, my mom was there for me and his siblings, my father's brothers and sisters. But when you're an only child and you lose a parent, it is just an interesting experience. I really can't explain it. So I think that your daughter would benefit from having a sibling. If nothing else, it gives her a connection to who she is, and it's a built-in friend. I mean, I know there's going to be a big age gap, but she will have a built-in friend. She will be that child's protector. She will also help you with that child. So I just think that that is something else that you should take into consideration when you decide to have one. But I know that you may feel that that's old, because if you do the math, when that child is 10 years old, and in elementary, at 10, before they go to middle school, you may be 48. And then when they get to middle school, that means that they will probably have maybe another 8 or 7 years before they graduate from high school. So that's going to put you well into your 50s. And age is not a factor. Halle Berry had a baby. She was over 40. Mariah Carey just had twins. And I think she was in her late 30s, over 40. And let's talk about Sarah and Abraham. I know you don't want to hear this, but Sarah was 90 years old. Abraham was 110. My goodness, can you imagine? I know they didn't have open house and all Pampers and all that stuff back then, but I just think that if there's something that's deep and burning and yearning in your spirit and you want to have another child, I say do it. But just keep in mind that this is something that you're doing for yourself. But let me share this joke with you. Maybe this will be the thing that seals the deal for you. I was talking about Scale 3, and she was telling me about this joke that this comedian told. And this particular comedian parents had 13 kids. And he asked his parents, why did they have so many children? And he said because they told him they knew that they weren't going to like all of them. And I guess you said, well, what are you saying, Deb? This is what I'm saying to you. You need to have more than one. Because there have been times, and let me tell you, this is no reflection on me as a person, and if any of you are looking at this video, you will admit there have been times when you didn't like your kids. Now, I love my sons to death, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that I've liked them all the time. And when there were times that I did not like my oldest son, I had my youngest son to talk to. And when I didn't like my youngest son, I had my oldest son to talk to. And when I didn't like both of them together, it didn't matter because I didn't want to talk to either one of them. So you keep that in mind when you're trying to decide on whether you want to have another child. Okay? And until next video. And names. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. If you have a girl, I would like to give you my girl name since I didn't have a girl. I would have named her Madison. I think that is so pretty. You can spell it Madison, Madison. However you want to spell it. Madison is so beautiful to me. Or if it's a boy, you can name him Miles. So whatever decision you make, I hope you make the decision that's best for you. So good luck, and until my next video, you guys be blessed. Bye-bye.